Hello Blue Collar Preppers, this is Aaron Pellet with the 9th Apocabox unboxing. This is December 2015. You should know the drill by now, so let's just skip the preamble and get to the good stuff. First thing here is some advertising. It's targeted advertising. It is of interest to people. You have a Creek t-shirt. Survival is simple, just don't die, $12. And shipping. And on the one hand, this is advertising, but it is relevant to our interests, and if it helps Creek keep the price down and give us more goodies, I'm all for it. Now, I'm going to say that this is the Creek-iest Apocabox I have ever seen. And what I mean by that is, when you get an Apocabox, you're guaranteed one of a few things. You're probably going to get a knife or a bandana, and you're going to get a patch. And this one has all of those things. And it's just crammed full of stuff. This is possibly the best Apocabox I've seen. So it is the most Creek of all of his boxes. So, what we have here is the first in what he's calling the Aboriginal Woodshop series. There are going to be 4 of them. There are 4 tools in the series. And this one is a hand-forged willow leaf knife. $25, he says. And this is a curved blade, which is good for, well, it's good for carving. But what you have here is a blank in the shape of a spoon. And there are instructions here which show you how to carve your spoon. So you've got your raw material here. And so now you can carve out that depression. That's why this is curved. You see, it makes that easier. And the other Apocaboxes in the series, we're going to have 3 more of them in this Aboriginal Tools series. And according to Creek, with these 4 tools, you can accomplish almost any woodworking task imaginable in the field. So that'll be pretty cool. Let's see. This is the Handy Hanky Forager's Bandana, $10. And it's actually not 1 bandana, it's 2. And they've been sewn together to basically form a pillowcase, a bag, whatever you want to call it. And right up here, there's space in the hem, and well, I don't know where it went, but what came with it was a length of cord so that you could run it through, and then you could draw it tight. And you're supposed to be able to do a whole bunch of things with this. You can use it as a sack for foraging. You can put it over your head, and you can see through the lighter portion. So that way, if the mosquitoes are biting you, you could sleep in some peace. You can stuff it full of feathers or hay, and you could make a pillow. And then there's all the typical bandana things you can do with it, like making a sling or a water filter, things like that. This is the, hang on, let me get the proper term here. Learn how to make pine pitch glue kit. And so there are instructions here with lots of illustrations. I like the illustrations. And a kit here for making your glue. And so in the instructions, you take the proper proportions of rosin, charcoal, and beeswax, and you mix them here in this tin, just sort of like you're mixing epoxy. And so you light it over a flame, and then you will stir it in here. And this is part of the skills challenge because over here we have and I always say this terribly, you have a ferro rod. I had a speech impediment as a child. I would call it a ferro rod. So there's your rod. And this is a chunk of fat wood, which is a piece of wood that's impregnated with resin, and it's good for starting fires. And so your skills challenge, and this is on top of the spoon you can make, but you take this fat wood and you whittle it down into a handle that you're comfortable holding, and you're going to get a drill. You're going to drill this end, and Creek wants you to put the ferro rod here in the fat wood. So you've got an all-in-one starter and fuel source. And now how are you going to secure this ferro rod into the fat wood? Why, using your pine pitch. So there's a lot for you to do here in this month's kit. So if you are with relatives over the holidays and you're bored to death, you can have something to do. Speaking of doing things over a fire, this is the Dragonfire Tinderbox. It really does say box, even though this is a bag. And this is a pretty hefty size. And this is just natural tinder, and it's supposed to go up very well. It's a hand-prepared and hand-packed. It's an extreme tinder pouch, they call it. The pouch is waterproof, and you can see all the stuff that's in it. And each one is hand-prepared, so what's in mine may not be in yours, but you've got cattail down, birch bark, applewood chips, and chaga fungus. And this pouch is supposed to be all that you need to get a fire going quick, no matter what the weather conditions. Use just a pinch for some extra fire help, or use the entire bag in extreme survival. So it's a little bit big. I don't know that I'd carry the whole thing in a camping bag or bug-out bag, but you use this as your source. You could put a little, not in this case, but a little Altoids tin. Got your fire starter. So, I said this was the Creek-iest box available. Well, we have our knife. We've had our bandana. Here's our patch. Not if, but when. Velcro backed. Hey, we've got some bugs to eat again. This is a candy sucker. I think it's watermelon flavored. Yes. Watermelon flavored with ants in it, with free ant protein, as it says. And I have to admire the ingenuity of it, because I am not all that thrilled with the idea of eating insects, but I know that it's a skill I need to acquire. And so this makes it very easy because I like candy. I like sweet things. I really like the watermelon flavor. So this is a really good training wheels way to get me into sampling insect protein. And this is $3. Oh, and the tinder, which I forgot to mention, is $13, and the patch is $5 for people who are keeping track. The Camper's Knot Tying Kit Game. This is $6. And what this is, you've got 2 sticks, a length of rope, and a card deck. And so the idea is that you will shuffle the cards, and you can play this with another person, and you'll pull out a knot. And so you each will try to do the knot, and whoever gets the knot tied first wins the number of points. This is something that I want to like, but I don't. And here's why. First of all, the instructions for how to tie the knots aren't really good. However many Apocaboxes ago, we got that really nice knot tying set of cards. They were plastic, they had the metal grommet, you could fan them out. Those had really detailed instructions on how to tie. Those are great. This is just one static picture. Doesn't do a whole lot. But my main complaint about this is, unlike playing cards which have some sort of a sealant on them, these aren't sealed. This is just regular cardboard or cardstock or whatever. This is not durable at all. A little bit of water, a little bit of sweat, a little bit of grease, it'll start breaking the cards down. So it's not really something you can take camping with you. This is the sort of thing you have to do at home, and that annoys me. I do like the idea of including the rope, and the reason for the sticks is that there are a lot of lashings. So you'd tie to a post, or you'd lash to a log that you'd have to pull, and so you have the sticks to practice that, and that's cool. I would be happier if the cards were sealed in some way. I would be a lot happier if there were better instructions on how to tie them. A pocket notebook. It's just paper. Not really all that special. And it's supposed to come with 1 pencil. My box came with 2. Perhaps I'm special that way. So, $6 for a notebook and a pencil. I don't know. I feel like you're reaching here. Maybe if the notebook was waterproof, if it was right in the rain, that would be cool. But it doesn't say. And I really doubt it is. So, But there are other good things in here. Makes up for it. This is an Apocabox branded Sam Splint. If you're a prepper, you know what a Sam Splint is, but just in case, I will explain. What you have here is a thin piece of aluminum sandwiched between pieces of foam. And the way it works is you unroll it to make a splint for an arm, a leg, just some sort of brace, and then you bend it this way. And when you make that U-bend, the aluminum stiffens so that it won't flex. And when you unbend it, you can then, when you unbend it that way, you can then bend it this way, and you can roll it up, you can fold it flat, and you can use it multiple times, and it's really, really neat. You ought to have one of these in your first aid kits. I have several, now I have another one that's always, always welcome. And I'm trying to find the price for it, and there we go, $16. Worth it at twice the price, to be perfectly honest. You need one of these. And if you're inclined to get more, they've got them in different lengths. You can get the little finger ones, you can get specialized ones, but this one will do you for all of your needs. I'm not opening it up and demonstrating it to you because that would be awkward and go off the page, and I want to store it in my first aid kit. There are plenty of videos on YouTube how to use it. If I've got my act together, you will see a pop-up to a link demonstrating how it's used. So, they've done the work. You watch their video. And finally, there's no price given, just a Merry Christmas from Creek, so I assume this is included for free. This is another cylindrical, not a bandana, a tube. I don't know what the proper term is. Seamless multifunctional tube scarf. If you watch Survivor, you know what this is. This would be a tribal buff. And it is, it's a Christmas present from Creek. It's got his name on it. Okay, fair play to him. And you can do all sorts of things with it. It's semi-stretchy, and you can use it as a bandana, kind of a balaclava, put it over your eyes if you're trying to sleep. There are instructions on all the different ways you can twist it to make a beanie cap and things like that. And it folds relatively flat. It's lightweight. It's always useful to have these things. So in conclusion, I have added up all of the goodies like I always do, and this comes out to $100, perfectly even this time. And it's $50 for the box, plus $10 in shipping, so that's $60 total for $100 worth of gear. Since this box comes every 2 months, that's basically $30 a month if you are pinching pennies like I am. So far, I have been happy with every single Apocabox. Some a little bit less, some a little bit more. This one's a little bit more. And so please, if you enjoyed this video, like it, comment on it, share it, and subscribe to my channel. I will see everyone in February for unboxing number 10. Until then, thank you, have a great weekend, and Merry Christmas, everybody.